So I've been painting some skeletons and zombies and stuff for making a little warband that I'm going to play with, play one-page rules with, the skirmish version. And the units, they come in threes, so I'm painting up 6 skeletons, and I was painting them up, and I thought I would show how I'm doing these guys. These aren't the old ones, obviously. They're the old GW skeletons. I prefer these to the newer ones. I like the more classic Harryhausen, Jason, the Orgonauts looking skeletons. I think they're great. But anyway, so we're gonna get some dryad bark. And still not using a palette, but dryad bark. The whole thing brown, just all over the handle, the spear, the flag, and everything. Just all brown everywhere. Yeah, the torso. Make sure everything's covered. So that's that. Then we're going to come back with, there's lots of ways you can do this. You can do this with just straight up white or anything. I like to use more of a tannish color. Is what we're going to do here. Is we're going to go with sandry dust. And we're just gonna take this and we're going to focus just on the bones as much as possible. So we'll put downward strokes. And make sure you get the hands, all the legs and arms and whatnot. And all those bones. Now, you could pretty much call that done if you wanted to. See, yeah, that is a skeleton. And that's for the bone. We're gonna go a little further. We're gonna go get some of my Reaper graveyard bone. It's just like a slightly off-white, almost a cream color. Fill this bottle real quick. Get that. And this will highlight it just a little bit. Really bring the bone out a little bit more. A little brighter, but you just want to do this real lightly. Whoop, camera, having an earthquake in Texas. Just go down, downward strokes real quick. Doesn't take a whole lot of this. And then there, your bone is done. Go. And as far as the weapons and stuff go, we're going to go back over those with a quick splash of dryad bark because we want them to be dark for the rust and stuff like that. So I'm just going to, sorry, trying to keep this in the center, but you know, trying to paint and do the camera thing is kind of a pain in the butt for me, so so we're going to take and just make sure that the shield and the spear don't have any of that white on them, really. And there's this sword back there. Doesn't have to be too bright. Then we're going to take some of this. You get a bigger brush. army painter brush. I'm going to take some of this one thing brown, and we're going to go over the metal bits, pretty much around the shield, and maybe even these little holes, these little pot marked holes from the shield, that, and the spear tip. And it doesn't have to be too clean. You can just kind of, even better if you just kind of dab it on there and leave some of the dried bark showing through. Because we're gonna spackle some metallic paint on there. It's gonna look good. A little bit more. There's a sword on the back of them. So we're gonna try to get that. And this leather strap goes around them. Just gonna get some color on that. This one actually has a few more details than the one I painted previously. That guy was just a nude skeleton. It's probably the fastest miniature I ever painted. We're just gonna get some color on these straps and chain, little straps and the sword and whatnot. The strap is really all over the place here. But let's see, got all that covered pretty much. A bit right there. Cover all that. Really should set my wet palette up for this, but whatever. Alright, so now all the little straps and stuff are pretty much covered. Now we will go back leather that we got kind of picked out. Use any color, any random color. I'm going to use this Doom Bull brown. It's a kind of a strange leather. It's a little bit darker than the one-frame brown, but it's enough to differentiate it. And we can probably come back over it with some wash to pick it out a little bit better, and it'll give it some depth, some shading. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that. And he's got his hair too, so let's make him blonde. So we're gonna use I think that was some brown color. I can't remember exactly. I'll tell you in a second. He's got little bits of hair on him. I think that's it. Ooh, sorry about that. Just little bits of hair. Yeah. And then we go with the metal, which we're going to use, if I can find it, the Iron Warriors. Iron Warriors, and when we're doing the metal on this, you know, it's a skeleton. He's been in the ground for, you know, years and years, and his weapons have rusted and been all crappy, so we're just going to take this spear, and we're just going to kind of drag on the edges a little bit, maybe, you know, rough it up a little bit, but we're not trying to completely cover it with you know, the paint. You can do this in a matter of seconds, and you get better at it the more you try. You just kind of make it jagged and uneven looking, so it really looks like it's a rusty old spear. And the same thing on the shield, just around the edges, just dab it. gonna try to make it look like a crappy old shield. Just like that. Boom. Same with the sword. Just kind of dab some of this on there. Try to leave some of the brown showing. The more the merrier, but you can play with it and have a little fun. You know. So it looks like he's packing a sword there. And your flag, you can put your flag in any colors, but that was basically it. I just wanted to, you know, get the skeleton done. I mean, you could go back, put a little wash over the hair, or you know, you could change the color of the, you know, the spear handle. I like to use this color, Valor Brown, is what I use for the blonde hair. It's also really good if you use that for the poles on the spears, and you just go over it with a brown wash like Agrex or Shade, or what is it, Strong Tone from Army Painter. Looks pretty good. But that is your 10-minute skeleton. And if you're patch painting them, you fly through these things. Sadly, these aren't available from Games Workshop anymore, because they were great little skeletons. But there are some out there. I think War Games Foundry has some that are similar type, but they have hand weapons, they have spears, and they have bows as options. Yeah, I like these guys, and sad they're gone. That was just really basic quick paint job for these guys, and I mean, you can obviously do a lot more. You can even do less, and it would still look pretty good. I really like this formula I came up for doing these rusted metal weapons. It looks really good, especially if you got a couple of them together. Like, see, it works. All right, man. Thanks. You guys have a splendid rest of your day.